Good evening, everyone. This meeting held in the Roselle Park High School Library is an open session of the Roselle Park Board of Education, held under the Open Public Meetings Act of the State of New Jersey. Notice of this meeting was sent to the Star-Ledger, Local Source, the Home News Tribune, Borough Clerk, school offices, and district website. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
President Miller.
Here.
Vice President Sokol. Here. Mr. Balaban. Mr. Bruckenstein.
Here.
Mr. Dan.
Here.
Mr. Durkin. Mr. Harms.
Here.
Mr. Nelson.
Here.
Mr. Vita.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Stand for the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, everyone. We're going to start off with our first public participation portion of the evening for agenda items only. If you have an agenda item you'd like to speak on, please come forward, state your name, address, and what you'd like to talk about.
Jacob McGill, 6 Club Sherburne Avenue, Roselle Park. Ladies and gentlemen, the audience, viewing audience, members of the board, Mr. Dorito, and Mr. Miller. Item 4, lunch supervisor personnel. I'm needing $25 a day. Now, the $25 per day is a 24-hour day or 2-hour day? How long is your lunch?
Jacob, that is a contract item in the collective bargaining agreement. There is a statute in there that states all elementary lunch teachers who volunteer to do lunch duty will be paid $25 a day for that particular duty.
And your lunch hour is a lunch hour, 1 hour?
At the elementary schools, yes it is.
And how about your breakfast?
Breakfast is not an hour. Breakfast is a shorter period of time. And that item is not part of the collective bargaining agreement.
That's not part of your contract?
No, it's not specified a dollar amount in the contract. That dollar amount you see on the agenda is past practice.
And it reads subs. All these people get paid the same amount of money?
No. Let me try to clarify for you, Jake.
Thank you.
Starting with the lunch at Sherman School. Each day there are 2 teachers who work lunch duty. You will see in the agenda a much longer list. If by some chance those 2 teachers cannot do the duty because they're out sick or something, then the building principal has the right to go to her list of substitutes and ask for someone to fill in that particular day. But in order for her to do that, the board must approve in advance the list of employees that she can ask to do that. For breakfast, the other agenda item you were inquiring about, 1 staff member covers breakfast duty each day, just 1 person. And if that initial person is not available, then the principal can go to the substitute list for coverage.
How many children at breakfast and how many children?
It varies, Jake. I wish I could give you a specific answer, but it does vary building to building, day to day. can be as little as maybe 5 or 6, and then on other days could be as many as 30 or 40.
Really?
Yes.
30 or 40?
I mean, we do have 5 different buildings, different size populations, so that also comes into play. I'm sure at the high
Now-
school, there's a much larger group than at the elementary level.
And the 5 to 30, the 30 could become a combination of the schools?
No, per building.
One school. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Seeing there's no one else, we'll close the first public participation portion of the evening, and now we'll go to committee reports. Are there any committee reports? Ms. Sobel?
I'd like to make a report for the curriculum committee. The teachers have been attending workshops for the first week of school, and among many workshops that they've been attending, they would include technology, the student growth objectives, anti-bullying training, interpreting data to drive instruction, and the STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics instructional strategies. So those are all types of workshops that they were attending. Along with the STEM program, I was also able to attend a Union County School Boards Association meeting on September 10th. And the theme of the meeting was Student Achievement Integrated STEM, now known as iSTEM, Integrated STEM. And a few of the highlights of what they were telling us about that should be incorporated is that there should be a focus, and this is for basically all grade levels, there should be a focus on real-world problem solving, with students solving problems and making informed decisions rather than just collecting facts. Also, the instruction should be delivered through project or problem-based learning using as much as possible hands-on activities that are relevant and meaningful to the students. It's not meaningful and relevant to the students, they're not going to be as engaged. Also, to have continued professional development that supports an integrative approach to student learning so that students can work collaboratively and creatively in constructing their own knowledge. So these are all best practice strategies that should be used in the classroom, and I know that our workshops are focusing on these types of things. So the board is also being informed about these types of things that are out there for us to look at. So that would be my report.
Thank you, Ms. Sobel, and thank you for attending that Union County meeting. It's great that we're getting out there and representing Roselle Park in these various union and state meetings. Anyone else? Mr. Balaban is not here because he's working in Trenton today, but I did want to update one thing on our board operations, our board ops policy committee. Every 3 years we have to do a board policy wellness check for Ms. Roselle with QSAC. And what we did, we are members of the New Jersey School Board Association, and part of our dues that we pay annually, there is a wellness check that they perform for us. And I was in touch with Mr. McGettigan of the School Boards Association, the policy division of the school. That's their policy within the New Jersey School Boards. And it was very nice and easy. We electronically sent over our policy. He checked it out, and he sent back his response and recommendations. And with that, I forwarded to Mr. Balaban and also Ms. Sobel, who's on that committee. And they are currently studying it and going over what we need to do to keep our policy up to date and in line with QSAC. So that hopefully will come to fruition in the next month. With the wheels are rolling on that, because I know in the past some question was raised about that. So, but it's nice to New Jersey School Board Association. We pay an annual due, so we might as well take advantage of it. And it's considerable cost savings to the way We did our checks in the past, and we're trying to save every dollar we can, so we can put it back into our district for our students. Thank you. With that, we're going to conclude committee reports, and now we'll go on to the superintendent's report. Mr. Rito?
Thank you, Mr. Miller. Unfortunately, I'm going to start with some sad news. This morning, the father of two of our students and the husband of one of our paraprofessionals passed away, Mr. Ray Roselle, who was a very engaged and involved parent of our students. And we would like to send the condolences out to the family. It was very sad news this morning. And again, when we lose a member of our Roselle Park family, it's always a very sad occasion. And once again, our deepest sympathy to the family of Mr. Orochi. Next, every year I am very enthusiastic to begin the school year because of the new members of the staff that we do. In my opinion, the administrators do a great job in interviewing and hiring. And this year is, in my opinion, even more so. I attended the first day of the new teacher orientation, and I was very impressed by the enthusiasm, the professionalism of our new staff. And at this time, it is my honor and distinct privilege to introduce them to the board and to the public. And I know they already have 2 weeks. They feel like veterans already, so, but it's your turn to be introduced, and I want to welcome all of you on behalf of the Board of Education. If you're here, please, when I call your name, please stand up so we can see who you are. And again, once again, welcome. Dana Monax, please stand up. Dana is at Aldine. She is a part-time basic skills teacher, so welcome, Dana. Is Angelina?
No, she's with the
Okay. Gary Chan, please, if you can stand up. Gary is at the middle school. He is a science maternity leave replacement. Welcome, Gary. Nicole Stout, is she here? Okay. Well, Nicole Stout she's unable to make it here tonight. She's also at the middle school, maternity replacement, teaching computers. Shayna Fox, I know she wasn't able to make it here tonight. She's also at the middle school. She's a maternity leave replacement, teaching math. Dan Kessler, he's not here. Oh, Dan is here. Dan is at the middle school. He's a maternity leave replacement, teaching social studies. Welcome, Dan. Michelle Dioria could not make it here. She is at the middle school. Guess what? Maternity leave replacement, special ed. Boy, I don't know what's in the water and the air there, but it's something going on. For the second time, I have the pleasure to introduce to you someone who is here, Scott Adelspee. Okay? Adelspee. I'm sorry, Scott. He's a Robert Gordon, part-time basic skills. Welcome, Scott. Is Jessica here? Okay. Jessica Gilchrist, she's at Robert Gordon as an interventionist. Welcome, Jessica. Justin Curran, I know she's here. She's at Robert Gordon. She is the part-time basic skills teacher. Welcome, Justin. Kelly Hardman. Kelly is at Sherman School. She is a second grade teacher. Welcome.
Thank you.
Katie Jones. Katie is at Sherman School as well. She is our new 5th grade teacher there. Welcome. Donna Slane. Donna is a new school nurse at Aldine School. Welcome. Stacy Herrera. Stacy is at Sherman School as our part-time basic skills teacher. Welcome.
Thank you.
collectively, I would like to welcome all of you and wish you a successful school year. Best of luck. Yep. And you get a picture, and if you're lucky, you're going to be in the Roselle Park Games. Please go out to the hall and I'll be there. So, you want to maybe here?
Just face it.
I stand behind you.
One, two, three. Well done. One, two, three. Very much.
Take care. All right, thank you. Take care.
And with that, concludes my report. Thank you.
And before we get to the principal's report, I just want to end Mr. Rita's message and just say on a happier note, we have a new grandfather on the board, and that would be Mr. Harms, a brand new baby boy Maddox to Bobby. Yeah, Maddox, and we congratulate Mr. Harms. And now we're on to the principal's report. Mrs. Costa. Good evening.
Good evening. There's no one left.
I'm sorry.
I'm here, Sally. That's okay. I wanted to tell you some of the new events and new initiatives and new happenings at the high school this school year. It's a little early in the year, and tonight was a very full night for our students. So I said instead of having them come, I just wanted to tell you some of the things that are going on here at the high school. We have a couple of main goals. One of our goals at the high school this year is our continuing goal, which is our focus on STEM education. As you know, hopefully, we're in the third year of the SciTech Prep program. The first year we had 5 students, the second year we had 10 students, and this year we are up to 12 students. So that's 12 students that are not going to a tuition campus. So for example, some of our students in the first year, they're taking geometry honors as well as Algebra 2 honors, physics honors, and foundations class, which is a STEM-based class with a curriculum that we won from Curriculum by Design. Our second year students are taking classes such as pre-calc honors, honors chemistry, honors biology, and STEM explorations, which is another STEM class which focuses on a project-based curriculum, and they also enter some competitions. Our third year chemistry students, which is the group that is now the lead class that started 3 years ago, they are taking, diversifies a little bit depending on their area, but they're taking, the third year students are taking AP Chem or AP Bio, AP Chem, AP Calculus, and they are also taking the AP Chemistry class for NJIT credit. We've formed a relationship with NJIT. And then we have some students that were involved with the SciTech Prep group, but they were actually a year older. We kind of sucked them in. We didn't count them in the 6. And they've started a dual enrollment program with Kane STEM and Kane as well. So we have some research opportunities going on with some of our seniors, as well as dual enrollment in some of the computer science classes at Kane and some of the chemistry classes at Kane STEM. Just to talk a little bit about where we've gone with the high school, I think a few years ago, I hope you remember that we started the 7th and 8th grade robotics program after school for the 7th and 8th graders. Those are the students that are now in our SciTech Prep program, but we've continued that, so we feel that we have an influence in the middle school. We're working very well with them. This year they're starting the STEM Day coming up in the very near future, where a lot of our teachers are going over there. And we also have a group of girls at the high school. There are sophomore SciTech students who are looking to take a STEM program for girls and bring it down to the elementary program as part of a new program that they want to start because they're looking to get into high-level colleges, and one of the things that the colleges look for is what new programs and what initiatives have you started. So we're working with them to develop a plan and get them going in the right direction. They're excited about that. So I mentioned we have a dual enrollment relationship with NJIT and Kane STEM. And with that, we've really been looking at our scores with the SAT and the PSAT. I think if you were in the classes at the high school, you would notice that the teachers are really trying to integrate the importance of not just good grades and participation in lots of activities, but good scores on the PSAT, the SAT, and the ACT. And so we have a little area here in the library that we focused on. This year, without the HESPA, we were able to put in a SAT prep class the second half of the year. It'd be wonderful to be able to have some more funding. I lost 8 teachers with all the cuts quite a few years ago, and I haven't gotten those back. But we have found a way to integrate SAT and PSAT prep at the high school. For the first time, I have to give credit to the guidance counselors. We've started a after-school for-pay program through Lents and Lents, an SAT prep class. It's Monday nights. In working with the athletic department, we have scheduled no games on Mondays from 6 to 9 so that any students that want to attend may. We have 25 students signed up at a little over $300 a person, and we found a way for the first 10 students that make it through the class with 100% participation. Thanks to donations that I've received in working, I'll be able to give them back, thank you Staples, a little bit of money for their solid participation. So we're really working on improving SAT scores here at the high school. All of the 10th and 11th grade students will be taking the PSAT on October 15th. This can hurt and help a district because when all of your students take the PSAT, that means your students from your all levels have the score on the PSAT, but I think it's important to help students begin thinking about the importance of that, so to integrate it at all levels. Just a couple other things I hope you noticed when you walked into the high school. We are continually thinking outside the box here. I don't ask for a lot of money. We do things on a very tight budget, and we're very proud of that. But we were able to completely redo the front entryway thanks to the class of 2014 and their donations, and some other donations that we have coming in. You saw the nice new entry mat that we have there. We took down all those antiquated bulletin boards, put up pictures of the students, and we'll be able to rotate through that just thanks to Staples and the very easy printing that they allow us to do there. We had a beautification committee that looked into that project, and they're also working on some other things. We want to it's just really important to make sure that you continue to beautify the space so that students aren't used to the status quo and think that they're in the same old place all the time. So I want to thank the teachers that worked on that. We've also been working really hard, and I think Mr. Garrido is going to talk about the violence and vandalism report a little bit. We have a very changing demographic and population, at times very transient, and I feel we do a phenomenal job here at the high school without any security guards, bathroom monitors, or door monitors to maintain the security of the building. I would challenge you to find a high school in Union County that is able to run without a bathroom monitor, door monitor, or any security. I believe we are the only one. And we have been finding ways to supervise the halls without the staffing. The staff have really stepped up. We have a severe situation with bullying in the stairwells, and the staff have gone above and beyond to give up of their time to stand in the stairwells and to be in the hallways. And I think that's really contributed to the reduction in our violence and vandalism incidents in the last year. This year we also have a new committee of students working on revising the homecoming and the spirit activities. I felt that we were beginning to be a little bit stagnant in what we were doing as far as homecoming, decorating the halls and other things. So I challenged the students to really look at what you're doing and decide if it's something we want to continue or start a new tradition. So I think they're a little bit excited about that. We're always looking for increased parent involvement in the PTSA. We've been working really hard with my board, my group at the high school, to try and get our name out there digitally. We've even considered the idea of doing our PTSA meetings somehow online. We've also given some incentives to the PTSA executive board, such as different opportunities for good seats at various events if they serve on the board to try and draw in more parents. and different prizes that the PTA gives out depending on how many people you bring with you to a meeting. So we're hoping to improve participation with the PTA. Not that it's been bad, but we're always looking for new things. And finally, today after school, I've made it a personal goal that I'm trying to get more followers on my Twitter account. I was just playing with it, but it's a new thing that principals are challenged to be digital leaders. And one way to do that is to send a weekly tweet. I have a good group of principals that I follow on Twitter. But today, for example, I was at the new video game club. It's a club that's not paid right now. And there were 40 students at the video game club. Then I walked next door to the robotics club, and the room was full. I couldn't even imagine how many students were in there, 40 or 50 in there. So we have a lot of new clubs. We continue to have the Technology Student Association, which is very, very strong. The debate club is new this year, not paid yet. The book club and the creative writing club. So the teachers are really doing a great job of keeping students involved. They're very proud of our high school, and I can see the students that choose to come here to stay in their community are very happy with their decision. So thank you, and welcome back to the high school, and hope you took the time to walk through the halls a little bit and see some of our bulletin boards. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Costa. I would like to thank you for the hard work and commend you on a great start to the school year. One of the things that makes my job very easy here is the administrative staff. They take an initiative and they run away with it without even thinking about it. A lot of the things that Mrs. Costa talked about today is part of a strategic plan. And next month, you're going to hear some of the great things that are going on in the elementary school because we will be at Sherman School. But again, the high school staff, and I said it last year, and I'll say it, I walked through the halls of the high school, and students are engaged, they're learning, they're happy, teachers are doing what they're supposed to be doing, and it's a wonderful, wonderful learning environment. And, those students going out into those magnet schools, they don't know what they're missing. And we're going to continue to send out the message that this is the place to be. And Mrs. Costa and her staff makes it a special place to be. So thank you, Mrs. Costa, for all you do. Thank you.
And I have to echo that too, Mr. Garrido. Ms. Costa, thank you for that wonderful report. I mean, it sounds like we're off to a great start here in high school and throughout our district. And I'm really, really impressed with some of the great news that you're telling us about the SciTech program. I mean, going from 5 to 10 to 12 students, I mean, it keeps increasing and increasing. But the best thing that sticks out to me is your reach going into the middle schools and hopefully eventually into the elementary schools as far as seeing what's there, what programs are available, and what's at the end of the rainbow at the high school for our students in the elementary and middle schools. And I commend you for that. And just as far as thinking outside the box for Monday night SAT courses, and also you reaching out for corporate sponsors to get those revenue streams, to add those incentives. I commend you, and we're off to a great start, and I thank you, Ms. Costa. And now we're on to policy.
Oh, yeah, Thursday is back to school.
Thursday is back to school night. Back to school night?
No, there's a modified schedule that's going out to the parents.
I like it better.
Okay. Well, now we're on to policy, and I would like someone to make a motion to approve agenda item 1, which is district policy, first reading.
So moved.
Mr. Arms, second. Mr. Dam, any questions, comments? Roll call, please, Madam Secretary.
Vice President Sokol,
Yes.
Mr. Balaban, Mr. Bruckenstein,
Yes.
Mr. Dam,
Yes.
Mr. Gerken, Mr. Harms,
Yes.
Mr. Nelson,
Yes.
Mr. Vita,
Yes.
President Miller.
Yes.
On roll call, motion carries.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Now we're on to personnel, where I'd like someone to make a motion to approve agenda items 2 through 12. 2 being staff appointment, 3 being district substitutes, 4 being lunch supervisor personnel, 5 being breakfast supervisor personnel, 6 being merit goal payment, 7 being Title I coordinator, 8 being professional development preparation, 9 being CPR training, 10 change of assignment, 11 additional sections, and 12 leave of absence requests.
I'll move that.
Mr. Harms, second. Ms. Sokol? Any questions or comments? Roll call, please, Madam Secretary.
Vice President Sokol,
Yes.
Mr. Balaban, Mr. Bruckenstein,
Yes.
Mr. Dan,
Yes.
Mr. Gerton, Mr. Harms,
Yes.
Mr. Nelson,
Yes.
Mr. Vita,
Yes.
President Miller.
Yes.
On roll call, motion carries.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. And now we're on to education, where I would like someone to make a motion to approve agenda item number 13, which is a 2014-2015 education program. Ms. Sokol, second. Second, Mr. Nelson. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Those items are passed. And now we're on to business. In business, I'd like someone to make a motion to approve agenda items 14 through 24. We are tabling resolution number 25. So those agenda items are 14, approval of bills, 15, transfers, 16, district contracts, agreements, 17, approval of minutes, 18, secretary treasurer report, 19, monthly certification, 20, inventory disposal, 21, legal services request, 22, travel and expense reimbursement, and 23, use of buildings and grounds. Finally, 24, violence and vandalism report.
I'll move it.
Mr. Mayor, I just want to comment on the violence and vandalism report before
Sure.
voting, if you don't mind. I just wanted to point out, actually, I'm very happy to report. Every year, the district, as every district in the state, is required to submit their violence and vandalism reports on different issues that have come up that include cases of incidents that have come up in the district. The first half of last year, September to December, the numbers were kind of same as the previous year. However, where we made great improvements in the second half of the year, and I just want to read some numbers to you. And again, Ms. Costa reported a little bit on it, but I have to commend the administration on intervention programs, on surveillance, and just really being on top of things. Violence reports, which includes fights and things such as that, we went from 15 in the year 2012, 2013, to a total of 4 in 2014. I'm sorry, 2013, 2014. So that was a reduction of 9 incidents. The HIV reports were almost the same, although we're really trying to cut on the numbers there. If we also look at out-of-school suspension, we have 31 out-of-school suspension in the same time period, 2012, 2013. In 13, 14, we had 8. So we went from 31 to 8. So once again, intervention programs, surveillance of students' behavior, and things such as that. The counseling programs does a great job at the middle and the high school here. Also, assignments, education program, instruction, or support services, we went from 30 to 7. Home assignment, home instruction, we went from 26 in 2012, 2013 to a total of 0 in 13, 14. So again, we commend the staff and the administration for such a reduction of some of those incidents reported to the state. Again, we're not satisfied until we see 0 all the way down the line. Can we do more? Absolutely. If you walk to any high school, and Ms. Costa reported on Roselle Park High School doing more with less, you see cameras in every section of the high school, security cameras, the hallways, every hallway, the stairwells, the security cameras. I think that this is something that in the future, the board and myself I would like to bring up, because if we have reduced the numbers so much, just imagine with just some extra security measures at the high school, what we can do. We really can cause some reduction. So, I'm very happy, again, that we're doing such a wonderful, wonderful job in reducing incidents of violence and suspending students out of school. We know what that does. Any out-of-school suspension, students miss out on very important instruction. We want them in school, and we're doing a great job in intervening with intervention. So, good job again, and I commend Mrs. Costa, the entire administration, the staff, and as well as the middle school also, and the elementary schools. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Harms first. Second? Second. Mr. Dam, any other questions, comments? Number 17. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Those items are passed. And now we are on to continuing business. Is there any continuing business? Seeing that there is none, we'll go on to new business. Is there any new business to report? Seeing there is none, we'll close that. We'll go to the second public participation portion of the evening. If you'd like to speak on any subject, please come forward, state your name and address, and what you'd like to talk about. Seeing there is none, we will close that second public participation portion of this evening. And now we are going to, the Roselle Park Board of Education meeting hereby convenes to executive session for discussion of the following subjects, which is personnel. It is anticipated that the executive session will take approximately 30 minutes. The board may take action when it reconvenes the public session, and the minutes of the executive session shall be released to the public when the reason for the executive session no longer exists. So with that, do I have a motion to go into close? Mr. Harms, second? Ms. Ogle? We are now in closed.
Motion going open?
Mr. Harms, second?
Second.
Mr. Vita? We are open. Thank you for your patience. And I just want to state that we have a revised resolution for number 25. It's superintendent merit goals. And I'd like to have a read a motion to approve the following 2014-2015 superintendent's goals, merit goals for submission. So to approve the following 2014-2015 superintendent merit goals for submission to the Executive County Superintendent's Office for prior approval. Those three goals are grant writing opportunities, which is a quantitative goal. Number 2 is program enrichment. And 3 is teaching and learning student achievement. Those last 2 are qualitative goals. Do I have a motion, Mr. Harms, second? Second, Mr. Nelson. Any questions or comments? I just want to thank the board. And we have to vote. Thank you for voting on this. So we have roll call, please, Madam Secretary.
Vice President Sokol?
Yes.
Mr. Balaban? Mr. Bruckenstein?
Yes.
Mr. Dam?
Yes.
Mr. Gerken? Mr. Harms?
Yes.
Mr. Nelson?
Yes.
Mr. Vita?
Yes.
President Miller?
Yes.
On roll call, motion carries.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. With that, I'd like someone to make a motion to adjourn. Ms. Sokol,
got it.
second. Mr. Harms. We look forward to seeing you on Tuesday, October 7th over at the Sherman School Gymnasium. Have a good night, everyone.